Welcome back to the History Hub. Today we're going to talk about one of the most controversial periods in American history, the Prohibition. From 1920 to 1933, the United States prohibited the manufacture, sale, and transportation of alcohol. But why did the country decide to implement such a drastic measure, and why did it ultimately fail? To fully understand the Prohibition and its eventual repeal, it's important to look at the historical context in which it took place. The Prohibition was a response to the social and cultural changes that were taking place in the United States in the late 19th and early 20th centuries. The country was experiencing rapid industrialization and urbanization, which brought about new social and economic challenges. The temperance movement, which advocated for the moderation or abolition of alcohol, gained momentum as a response to these changes. In 1919, the 18th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution was ratified, which established the prohibition and made the manufacture, sale, and transportation of alcohol illegal. The intent of the prohibition was to reduce crime, poverty, and corruption, as well as to improve public health and morality. In 1919, the 18th Amendment to the Constitution was ratified, which banned the production, sale, and transportation of intoxicating liquors in the United States. The amendment went into effect on January 16, 1920, and the country entered what is known as the Prohibition Era. The government established the Prohibition Bureau to enforce the ban on alcohol. However, the Bureau was underfunded and understaffed, making it difficult to enforce the law effectively. Meanwhile, the demand for alcohol remained high, and illegal production and sale of alcohol, also known as bootlegging, flourished. Organized crime syndicates saw the prohibition as a golden opportunity to make vast profits through the illegal trade of alcohol. The high demand for alcohol, combined with the limited supply, allowed these criminal organizations to charge exorbitant prices for their illicit products. This generated huge profits for these criminal enterprises, which they used to expand their operations and increase their power and influence. One of the most famous organized crime figures of the Prohibition era was Al Capone, who dominated the illegal alcohol trade in Chicago. Capone was known for his brutal tactics and control of the city's criminal underworld. He used violence, intimidation, and bribery to eliminate his competition and maintain his dominance in the illegal alcohol trade. He was eventually imprisoned for tax evasion in 1931. The Prohibition also created a new market for illegal drugs, as criminals diversified their operations to include other illicit substances. This led to the rise of drug trafficking and organized crime, which has continued to be a problem in the United States and around the world to this day. The Prohibition also had a negative impact on the justice system, as corruption and bribery became rampant. Law enforcement officers were often paid off by organized crime syndicates to look the other way, or to actively participate in their illegal activities. This undermined the rule of law and eroded public trust in the government. The Prohibition created a breeding ground for organized crime, which allowed criminal enterprises to flourish and become more powerful. The illegal trade of alcohol and other illicit substances generated huge profits for these organizations, which they used to expand their operations and increase their influence. The Prohibition also led to widespread corruption, bribery, and the rise of drug trafficking, which has continued to be a problem in the years since the repeal of the 18th Amendment. The repeal of the Prohibition was a long and complex process that took several years to come to fruition. By the late 1920s, it had become clear that the Prohibition was not achieving its intended goals and was instead causing more problems than it was solving. The rise of organized crime, corruption, and violence, as well as the widespread disregard for the law, led many to question the wisdom of the Prohibition. In 1933, the 21st Amendment was ratified, which repealed the 18th Amendment and ended the Prohibition. The repeal of the Prohibition marked the end of a tumultuous period in American history and was a recognition that the government's attempt to control personal behavior through prohibition had been a failure. The repeal of the Prohibition also marked a shift in public opinion, as many people had grown tired of the negative consequences of the ban on alcohol. The return of legal alcohol allowed for regulation and taxation, which helped to generate much-needed revenue for the government during the Great Depression. The Prohibition was a unique and fascinating chapter in American history. While it was motivated by noble goals, such as reducing crime and improving public health, it ultimately failed to achieve these objectives. Instead, the Prohibition created new problems and had far-reaching consequences, making it a cautionary tale of government intervention in personal lives and choices. Thank you for joining us today for this brief overview of the Prohibition and its ultimate failure. If you found this video interesting, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more great content.